Hey everybody, so I just wanted to come up here and talk a little bit about Married at First Sight episode, season 11, episode 9. And I wanted to just come on here briefly just to give you my perspective on how I took the episode. Now granted, I know I'm a little late because it did air on Wednesday and today is Friday, but I figured, hey, why not? So, so on this week's episode was a little more generic. It wasn't anything really going on like meeting the families or the friends or any kind of set up event. So I'm gonna start off with talking a little bit about some of the highlights. And for me, the standout in this episode was Christina and Henry. So with Christina, she and Henry had a little sit down, and she admitted finally that the reason that she was behaving the way she was, and I'm not going to put this all on it, but part of the reason, sorry for this glare, that she said she's behaving the way that she was is because she has not been on her ADD medication. She states that she's been off of it for a month, and when she's not on her medication, she can become more irritable, I guess that less patient, and that's what we've been seeing from her anyway. So I was really glad that she admitted to it. She said that her mom was really against medication, so I'm thinking that she probably was trying to maybe manage it without the medication, based upon her family's recommendation, and just wasn't working for her. So Henry in this episode, he was actually very supportive, and he, was glad that she opened up and shared that she's been struggling with this ADD. So she decided to get back on her medications, and from there, they actually ended up having a much better episode. I actually feel like if the medication and if Henry, because he still needs to step it up, but if he comes more out of his shell and she kind of tones down, I think that there could be like the slightest chance, but I'm still 90% sure that they're probably going to separate, but you be the judge. So Henry and Christina did two activities, one that Henry liked, which is golf, and one that Christina liked, which was dancing. Henry is actually was really good at just kind of showing Christina how to hold the club and how to hit, and Christina took to it pretty easily, and he was pretty impressed by that. So, and then she took him dancing, and of course he wasn't the best dancer, but he kept trying, and she was impressed by that too. So I'm gonna like put a period on Henry and Christina and just say that this episode really showed the potential that they could have. And I'm really hoping that we see more of this as the season progresses. And, in some respects, kind of, it would be really great for them to prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. So on my next list is, we're going to do Amani and Woody. So they started off doing manis and petties together. And she was just saying how she really likes having someone there that she can do those things with, that he's not against going and get manicures or getting pedicures together. So she really enjoyed that. So that was like kind of what they started off. They also talked about, and of course Amani is more reserved than what Woody is, and Woody expressed to her that he could see himself falling in love with her. He already said that he has love for her, but that he could see himself actually falling in love with her. Amani, like she said, she's being reserved, and I think Amani's undoing could be that reservation could be so strong that she's not willing to let that go to really experience this love, because he's not her ex. He's her husband. He's not a boyfriend. And as much as I see Woody taking it seriously, and she's taking it seriously too, but I want her to realize that this guy made a commitment to you, whereas the other ones did not. And she recognizes that he is doing all the right things and saying all the right things. And so it's kind of like, she's cautiously optimistic is what I would say. Now, she did do something that was nice this episode. She cooked for him because she admitted that, hey, I need to step it up. You've been doing this, you've been doing that, let me do something for you. So she cooked some salmon and stuff. It looked good. And so he enjoyed it. So far so good. We'll see what happens next episode. There could be a little bit of tension building up based upon maybe her reservations about the relationship, just thinking in the future, like, it's too good to be true kind of thing. But we'll see. So moving on to, Amelia and Bennett. Amelia and Bennett finally consummated their marriage. Congratulations to them. They didn't really go into detail. They both were just, like, hey, we're satisfied, and they moved on. I wasn't sure if it was Bennett's birthday, but I'm sorry, let me back up. Bennett was sick, and so Amelia went and got him some tea and some honey and stuff like that, and kind of nursed him back to health. So I think that was really sweet of her to just kind of show him that she can, in addition to caring for others, she can kind of be that doting wife as well and take care of him. And so of course he got better. And so I think it might have been his birthday, because she made this cake that was the strangest looking cake. I mean, it had like an apple nose. It had it was supposed to, I guess, be a cake that was a picture of him in cake form. It was odd, but she put a lot of effort into it and took him out on this picnic, showed him how to tightrope walk, I guess is what I would call it, but she called it some other slack rope walking or something, showing him how to walk on a rope. And they were dressed alike in these blue pants and these gray tank tops. And, it was on par with who they are as a couple, just kind of quirky, but they were really sweet. Let me see who else is next. Brett and Olivia. I feel they just, like Christina and Henry, they were not good matches. And even with this is just further proves, because the experts did give all the couples like question cards, like, how do you know if you're in love, this or that. And of course everybody pretty much said the same answer, like, oh, it's a feeling. But with Brett, he was just really being really sarcastic, really just not being serious and answering the questions. And it was frustrating Olivia, and it was frustrating me too. Like, dude, just talk. I'm trying to get to know you internally, and you always have these snarky remarks and these jokes and just so sarcastic. And she was getting frustrated, as was I. And they even went on like this little date that she wanted to do, go into this like a swap tour. And he just was like not into it. The little tour conductor was trying to crack these little corny jokes, and it's like, just humor, just humor the old man, But he just was like, oh yeah, I love lame dates, going on like these. He just really is a downer, like a huge downer. And I don't know why. And they put her with him because, like she said before, she likes to go and do things and experience new things. And he's just more like, hey, I'm going to hang out with my cats. And so he didn't really open up on the swamp tour until they got to hold like little baby alligators. So then he was like, oh, okay. But overall, he could have stayed at home. She could have gone with Amani or Amelia or Christina for that matter, other than Brett, because he was not adding to that experience whatsoever. Total buzzkill. And so let me see what else happened. Oh, and then lastly, is Karen and Miles. I feel so bad for Miles. I just want Miles to like choose not to stay with her at the end, because he deserves better. He fixed her car. The episode starts off with him like fixing her car because her car wasn't working. He fixes her car, And he even had like this chef come over, and like he was starting to learn how to cook to prepare this wonderful meal for her. So she was like, oh, he gets brownie points for that. And they went grocery shopping and stuff, and so that was fine. But the part that got me was, and from the last episode, she said that she wanted him to express his feelings, and not have it just be all about her, but for him to also talk about what are some things that he needs as well. So he's asking about intimacy, and he put on the calendar he wanted to have sex with his wife. Why did he do that? She goes off talking about how she felt unsafe. And I'm like, really? Like, unsafe? Like, he's not going to assault you. You know, he's not going to do anything to you without your consent. I just felt like she took that writing on the calendar. That was what his goal was. And she took it completely left field. And it's like, come on now. Like, he's been open, he's been honest, he's told you, you know, he talked about his childhood with her, how his parents were divorced, and how he felt like he was the go-between between both parents, and it was just exhausting. And you know, just really being vulnerable and being emotionally aware and being emotionally intelligent. And that's something that you would want in a spouse, to consider your feelings, consider your needs, be there for you emotionally. And the whole while, she's just, it's like he's giving 10 and she's giving like 2. Like, yeah, I'm gonna give you points because you cooked for him. Like the last episode, he mentioned at the get together that she got up in the middle of the night and cooked this grand meal. That's nice. That's a nice gesture. But if you have no like desire to really grow emotionally with him and eventually physically with him, then why did you even sign up for this? Like, why did you sign up to be a clam in your shell? I'm really not liking Karen as, like, I mean, even in the beginning, after she was just like, oh, I saw him and he's just not masculine and all that foolishness, I just really wasn't feeling it for her. I'm still not. I think she wants someone who's gonna, like, basically bulldoze and tell her what they're gonna do and when they're gonna do it, kind of thing, and not be like Miles, which is more like, what would you like? How would you feel about it? I don't know why she does not. I mean, it's kind of like that old saying, nice guys finish last, but she can let him go, because I know there's going to be tons of women like Derek in the last season with Katie. You know, there's going to be tons of women in his DM saying, hey, she's dumb, pick me instead. So I didn't want it to be too long, which, see, it's been long enough. But I just wanted to see if you all saw the episode. Tell me what your thoughts are. But my thoughts are this, you know, the standout this episode was Christina and Henry, because I did see that glimmer of hope. And to me, my, you know, last on the list really is going to be Olivia and Brett and Karen and Miles, because Miles got the wrong one, and Olivia got the wrong one. So it's like, I feel bad for both of them. They just need to, hopefully Miles lets her go, but he's so nice he probably won't. She'll have to break his heart because he'll be too nice, but hopefully he stays true to himself. But I digress. Just like I said, tell me what you think, and we will chat later. Take care. Bye.